हेलो दोस्तों, वेलकम टू इनकम टैक्स क्लास रेजिडेंशियल स्टेटस पार्ट 2. Hope you are safe and doing good. Okay, so yesterday we have done individuals residential status for individual. Today we are doing for the residential status other than the individual. So starting with HUF, AOP, and local authorities. If the control of HUF forms AOP local authority, if the control of the business is of HUF firm AOP local authority is wholly managed or partly managed by in India, then they should be treated as residents. Otherwise, they are treated as non-resident. For control is where the head and the brain central control situated, not necessarily registered office. For companies, if company is incorporated in India as per Indian Companies Act, then it will be treated as an Indian company and will recognize as resident. Otherwise, if place of effective management is outside of India, then it will be treated as non-resident. Repeating again, for companies, if company is incorporated under Indian Companies Act in India, then it will be Indian company and called resident. Otherwise, it will call non-resident company. Hope this clears your this concept. Moving into the very good part, very important thing. Now, up till now, we come to know that a person is resident, ordinary resident, non-ordinary resident, or non-resident. Now, as per income tax, income tax, there is a different treatment for different residential status people. Like if income is received in India or deemed to received in India, then it will be taxable for both ordinary resident, non-ordinary resident, and non-resident. Repeating again, if income received or deemed to received in India, if you got and this word in your question, then it means it is taxable for all resident, non-ordinary resident, and non-resident, whether it is accrued anywhere. Second, if income is accrued in India, whether received anywhere, it will be also taxable for all of three: ordinary resident, non-ordinary resident, and non-resident. Third, if income received outside India, accrued outside India, but the control in India, then it will be taxable for ordinary resident, non-ordinary resident, but not taxable for non-resident. Fourth and last, if income accrued outside India, received outside India, and control of that business is also outside India, then it will be taxable for ordinary resident and non-taxable for non-ordinary resident and non-resident. So I am giving a summary of this page. If income received in India, taxable for all three-person. If income accrued in India, taxable for all three-person. If income received outside India, accrued outside India, but that business is controlled from India, then it's taxable for ordinary resident and non-ordinary resident, and non-taxable for non-resident. If income accrued outside India, received outside India, and the business is also controlled from that India, then this is taxable for only for ordinary resident. Hope they clear this topic. I'll I'll give you that one animation for your uh, practice. You just need to check if income received in India. So he is a resident. So that this is taxable for resident, ordinary resident, and non-resident. Income deemed to received in India. This is taxable for all three. Income accruing or arising in India, this is again taxable for all three person. If income received outside India, biz outside India, then you need to check that your rule and tick the person accordingly. So this will a very important question that for exams there's, okay, so you need to get, you need to you need to align that income as per their residential status. So this closes are this chapter in income, residential status of income tax. Hope you like my video. If you like my video, just uh, like, subscribe, and thanks for watching this video, and try to share to as many as possible so that everyone can get a knowledge of this chapter. Thanks.